But sometimes the insides don't live up to the expectations on the outside. So we've gathered together the most talented amateur interior designers who think they could be the next big thing to show us how it's done. But it's not as easy as it looks.
I've got self-doubt creeping in.
Yes!
Across 3 knockout episodes, a group of designers will compete for one place in finals week.
It seems like there's so much to do.
No pressure.
Good job. Like it.
Judging them, 2 industry experts, Daniel Hopwood.
Having survived round 1, I want to see that the designers have listened to our feedback.
And Sophie Robinson.
They are going to have to take it up a notch if they're going to stay in this competition.
They'll be scrutinising presentation skills,
That is not the way to present to somebody.
artistic flair,
Have you ever seen that done before?
No, it's weird.
and how well they deliver their brief.
Pretty amazing transformation.
Absolutely beautiful.
In the finals, the best will face giants of the design world. Oliver Heath,
Oh my word.
Orla Kiley,
It does look quite rough.
and Kelly Hoppen.
I want perfection.
But only one can be crowned winner of the Great Interior Design Challenge. Last time, 4 designers fought to impress the judges.
I'm feeling a bit like,
For me, I just feel that the space is lacking the love.
1 went home, 3 made it through.
I got through to the next round, so yeah, it's exciting.
It's been a hard slog, but definitely worth it.
The idea of doing it all again is pretty full on.
Now the second round will be even tougher. Our amateurs will be redesigning the reception rooms of 3 arts and craft houses in the model village of Bournville. The clients more exacting,
from the mood board, it looks quite traditional.
the briefs more challenging,
They want creativity, they're going to get it slapped in their face.
and the judges' expectations higher.
There's no relationship with that and the rest of the scheme at all.
What has happened in here?
As the designers battle it out
I can't deny, I'm worried.
to make it through to the next round. The designer not going through is... This peaceful, picturesque village is actually a suburb in Birmingham, built at the end of the late 19th century by the entrepreneurial Cadbury family for workers at their Bournville factory and local middle-class professionals. Complete with a central green, a cricket pavilion and timber-framed houses, it's a Victorian reimagining of a traditional village. Now our 3 amateurs must deliver a reception room each that lives up to the arts and crafts style.
The last things to do would be there and there.
The designers have been planning their schemes for the past week, based on a brief provided by their homeowners.
I don't think it's complex for you, but it's important is the fire. I feel confident that I've thoroughly read the brief. I try to match the brief to who I am.
Now, to help put those plans into action, they've each got a small team, including a builder and a decorator.
I'm going to paint them all white and then put the fabric behind where you've cut the music notes out.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah.
Feel fantastic about making it to the second round. The other designers are really good, but I think I'm better.
They also have a budget of £1,000 and 3 days to make their transformations.
I'll take out all these cobwebs, all right, so you've got a bit more of a clean base to work on. This design is not safe for me at all because it's not really my personal taste. You know, if I pull this off, I'd be really pleased with myself.
Our first designer is 44-year-old Tally, a furniture restyler from Buckinghamshire.
I got polystyrene coving.
Oh, okay, that's
yeah,
good.
nice and easy, and I got the adhesive for it.
Oh,
as
you
well.
have? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's hard to criticise Tally. She did a good design to a high standard, but in order for her to make her mark in this competition, she's going to have to get a lot more creative.
Tally will be showcasing her creativity in a living room that was all shades of beige, which judges Sophie and Daniel took a look at before Tally got started.
Oh, these are rather big beasts, aren't they? This room could be greatly improved with a better layout.
We could make this work better if there was a clever little bit of spatial planning going on in this room. The big challenge is how to deal with the television.
Tally's been asked to bring in some bling with a glamorous and decadent design.
This is a really exciting brief for Tally. I know this is the opportunity for her to unleash her creativity.
So Tally's going for gold, quite literally, with a champagne and purple colour scheme against a new cream carpet. She plans to add sparkle with a drop chandelier and assortment of gilt mirrors and frames, all of which she explained to her client Dawn before she got going.
This is
as Sophie and Daniel will be judging each client presentation once all three designers have pitched.
This is going to be your colour scheme. You're going to have a deep, rich aubergine. You're going to have a metallic wallpaper on the top, the champagne,
Wonderful.
where it will really pick up the light in here.
Fantastic.
TV,
Yeah.
hopefully will go on the wall. And what I'm going to do is disguise the TV and make it into a picture frame. So you're going to have like a gilt mirror around the frame.
Fabulous.
I thought what a good layout would be is actually having the sofas facing each other.
Yeah.
I've got you an old coffee table, but don't worry, it's not going to stay like that. It's going to
Okay.
be painted.
It's perfect. It is.
I feel like crying.
The level of glamour, I'm all for it being on a number 10. And she's hit the nail on the head.
Dawn's dazzled, but will the judges be?
Well, I like the colour scheme, and I kind of don't mind the layout. It's pretty tried and tested. We're not seeing anything new here.
And my concerns are that she's meeting the client's expectations, but a great designer gives more than that.
Well, Tally's hoping she is giving more by banishing that beige with dark aubergine. But her decorator has spotted a problem.
How much paint have you got?
I've got that tin I gave you. It's a 5 litre
5 litre
tin.
tin.
Yeah.
So you've got that wall,
Yeah.
that wall. I don't know if you can have enough, to be fair. If it takes 2 coats, you may just scrape through. If it takes 3 coats, you
Right.
haven't got enough.
I did think about buying a grey to go on
Yeah.
first. Would that be better?
It depends how dark you want the colour to be. Like,
It
one-
needs to be opulent. I want
Do you
it like
know?
an aubergine,
Yeah.
like
yeah.
that colour.
Well, that's one way of matching your colours.
It's either going to be a marriage made in heaven or hell.
Our second design challenger is 28-year-old industrial textile weaver Craig from Burnley.
Just going to see how it dries. It's drying fine now, but we'll just play it by ear.
It's fantastic.
I suspect Craig lucked out in the first round and got to do a room design that actually he'd quite like to do in his own home. But being a good designer is about being well-rounded and versatile, and that's what we want to see from him.
Craig's proving his versatility in a space that was a neglected dining cum music room.
Oh, the layout in here is rather, should we say, interesting. I know that's obviously a temporary measure, garden table with a nice bit of fabric, but kind of shoved in the corner, this whole room's just got no flow.
Craig's homeowners want to get that flow back with a colourful and textured Parisian boho scheme.
I'm really interested to see how Craig is going to interpret this brief. I mean, they're wanting something that's pretty on trend, quite high end, very, very stylish.
The look that they're after is about clashing colours, clashing furniture, and yet keeping it as one look. I wonder how he's going to take on a twist like that.
Well, he's going to give it a good go. Craig's interpretation of bold boho is to bring together an eclectic mix of textures, fabrics and furniture with a green colour scheme and natural lighting elements, which he hoped would impress his clients James and Marissa.
Gone for this mint amenzo, it's called. This nice bright colour.
That's the green that you're going to use?
It is.
Yeah. I think maybe a touch lighter. Might be better, a touch lighter.
Yeah, that's fine, yeah. I can always neutralise it slightly by adding white paint into it if it's too much. So hopefully if I can still fit your Chesterfield style chair in, with your permission, let's try and dye it black.
From the mood board, it looks quite traditional.
Yeah, okay. I think when I've sort of created the natural lamps, the lamps can have a very sort of bohemian light fitting on it. I think with the other items that I'm bringing in, I think they're really going to look absolutely fantastic in here. I'm feeling pretty confident. They seem to like the design. A few odd little changes, but yeah, I think they're happy with it.
What a beautiful brief. There was an opportunity to use some interesting colour combinations. But, you know, those colours, they're not very exciting and quite old-fashioned.
And he's dyeing that leather chair into black, and I'm just wondering why, because there's no relationship with that and the rest of the scheme at all.
Unaware of the judge's reservations, Craig is cracking on. First on the to-do list, a musical makeover for the bookshelf.
So I want to make 2 doors for it, and I'm going to hopefully get you to cut some music notes out.
That's a music note, is it? The Smurf that's been cut off at the waist.
Our final designer is 60-year-old Anne, a children's author and illustrator from Whitburn.
I would have been very disappointed to have left after the first round, but I was frustrated with my last room. There was quite a lot that I didn't achieve.
Anne is the master of detail. I mean, the cushions and textiles she produces are just gorgeous. But as an interior designer, you really need to think of the whole scheme.
Anne's hoping to crack the bigger picture in what was a plain sitting room.
The fireplace looks a bit sad. This whole area could do with a little bit more love. For me, that window is the hero in the room.
I think I would have a big rail and have the curtains on the outside.
All the way to the floor.
Yeah.
Anne's been asked to deliver a sophisticated room, mixing a traditional feel with a modern edge.
The homeowners want to celebrate the period features in this property, but also have quite a contemporary look, and blending the two can be quite a challenge.
Anne's hoping that blend will come with her arts and crafts inspired scheme, featuring a new fireplace centrepiece and window treatment. Her nod to modern includes touches like copper-edge shelving, ideas she had to run past her clients Olga and John earlier on.
So, this is the window treatment here. So we've got pelmet that goes across the top, and then 2 shelves that come down either side. Window seat And then if we look at the fireplace with a panel, this is a poster from the RHS.
Okay.
It's a botanical drawing.
What do you think of this?
Yeah, I like that.
Do you?
Yeah.
You don't think it's too patterned and too flowery?
No, because it's only a smallish panel.
These will be details on the cushions, and it's the idea of creeping about, sort of, and putting your feet up.
That's the bit that I'm the most uncertain about.
Okay.
The slippers and the cushions.
Your brief said be creative, and I'm being creative.
The design that's being proposed is quite. It's not contemporary. I'm a bit uncertain about the panel and the fireplace and the coloured shoes on the cushions. Might be a bit twee.
I think if the homeowners had asked for arts and crafts, it could be a winning scheme, but they asked for something that incorporated a contemporary look. And I'm not seeing that at the moment, and I don't think they are either. It's going to look like a museum.
But Anne thinks she knows best.
I think the clients were a little bit unsure about the use of the fireplace panel, but I think it needs a bit of a statement, and I'm going to carry on with what I planned. So here we have the mood board. And I've got a copy of all of the elevations for you.
Lovely.
That's to scale.
Anne gets her builder started on that controversial fireplace panel. But there's a problem.
For that panel you've cut comes up to about here.
Anne's scale drawings don't measure up.
So,
You need to work out
let
how
me-
low you can bring this down and still not interfere with your poster.
I'm going to look at the poster.
Okay.
I'm going to look at the poster and see what it looks like. I've only got one poster. If there was a problem, it would be really bad. Really bad.
You bygone.
All three designers have pitched their ideas to their homeowners, knowing their every move was being scrutinised for the client presentation judging.
The last time I was really lucky, I came first in the judging. Well, lightning don't strike twice. Obviously, it's a competition. I'd love to come first.
Pretty confident, but you don't know, do you? So, I'll have to see how it goes.
Bit anxious. I did try and improve on last time, and I felt that the board was much more comprehensive.
With one designer going home at the end of this project, how well the judges rate their presentation skills, mood boards and drawings at this stage will count.
Tally, there's no doubt that your homeowner absolutely loved that design. But the presentation itself wasn't much different from last time, and I'm wondering if you need to slightly up your game.
Craig, we really loved the designs that you had using bare wood in that scheme. But overall, the brief asked for something elegant and chic, and I'm not sure your board really did that.
And you gave a really comprehensive and beautiful presentation. Both of us rather loved this arts and crafts influenced design that you have. But I'm not sure about if your clients do.
The first prize absolutely has to go to Anne. Brilliant board. One of the best we've seen, exquisitely illustrated, very, very professional, well done. So you guys, Anne set the bar, and what I'd recommend is you both have a look and learn to improve.
Guess that's positive. That's helped my confidence, but I think what's in my head at the moment is that I steamrolled the clients a bit, so I'm a bit anxious about that.
Could have been worse.
Oh.
I tried my best, all mourners liked it, so I'm still happy.
Anne came first, and that's fantastic for Anne, because she did come nearer the bottom last time, so she's really cranked it up. This is proof that the competition's changing all the time, and I just have to crank it up a little bit more.
With work well and truly underway, our designers are transforming their rooms. But 140 years ago, the ethos behind Bournville was to transform people's lives. The Cadbury brothers, Jordan and Richard, built their state-of-the-art factory here in 1879. These two had very grand ambitions. They didn't just want to build a chocolate factory, they wanted to build an entire utopian community. The variety of houses reflected the social mix. Grand three-storey semis were built for well-to-do families, while almshouses were for retired workers. Green space was just as important for residents' well-being, particularly when down in a smog-filled city. Life expectancy could be as low as 40 years. So the Cadbury brothers ensured that at least 10% of the entire estate was unbuilt on. It's the great outdoors that's inspired Anne's arts and crafts garden scheme.
Take it right to there.
Yeah, so 64.
Yeah.
Okay.
Leaving her builder to figure out the fireplace poster, she gets started on the soft furnishings.
I'm making the seat cushion. I haven't made a window seat before. It's a bit awkward because I'm using a quilt chopped up, but I reckon that a quilt would actually be much softer than making a cushion and stuffing it with wadding. Come on, in you go. It's not that hard.
Anne's creativity impressed the judges in round one.
I'm going to be making oriental bunting by stitching that on there.
I think potentially she's a hugely exciting designer. She's really artistic, she's really creative.
But focusing on the details landed her in trouble.
It isn't quite a finished project. And I would have much rather she'd have spent the time getting some doors on there. Would have had a much better visual impact in this room. And I think she spent too long doing all the pretty bits and not actually thinking of the overall bigger picture.
Here you are, Anne, first day, focusing on cushions when there's a big project out there to do with. Are you focusing too quickly on the detail?
To be fair, Dan, they do want a window seat, and so these are cushions, but it's also a functioning piece of furniture. And there is a lot to do, but, you know, I'm here to push. I don't want to let go of the detail. I don't want to let go of the creativity.
We're in day one, and Anne is already
Making cushions.
worrying about the details. It's a bit like Nero fiddling while Rome is burning.
Oh, look! It looks like it's got plants growing out of it. That looks lovely.
Also getting to grips with upholstery, Craig.
I've dyed a fabric chair before, never dyed a leather one. I'm a bit nervous about doing it, but I've got to do it.
Using a leather colourant he bought off the internet for just over £20, Craig's dyeing the homeowner's traditional English Chesterfield for his Parisian boho scheme.
Gonna need a few coats, probably gonna take all day, but it'll look good when I've done it.
Craig was equally confident about his choices in round one, despite going way off brief.
Orange naturally can mean emergency.
Yes.
Or warning.
They wanted peaceful tranquility. They're getting totally tangoed.
But his gamble paid off.
I like it. Yeah, he was right. Good on you, Craig.
Craig, your homeowner, clearly knows what she likes and she's got lots of references, but a lot of that is very conflicting. Do you think you're really hitting this brief?
I do think I've hit it on the head, definitely. I think when it comes together, it is going to look bohemian and contemporary, which they asked for.
I think it's becoming quite obvious that Craig doesn't really have a very huge repertoire.
He doesn't have a repertoire. What you get with Craig is what you see. It's this rough, raw style. It might come up with something that looks really interesting, which we have never seen before.
Something the judges have definitely seen before from Tally is painted furniture. And she's at it again.
Painting is my thing, so it'd be a great shame if I didn't incorporate that.
It was Tally's paint colour that came into question in round one.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it.
See, I wouldn't have chosen that blue. If I was going to do blue, it would be a different colour blue.
But she managed to balance the colours to create a pleasing final look.
Wow.
Wow.
Colours work really well.
Tally, I absolutely love your scheme. It's got loads of punch. If you want indulgent and decadent, nothing does that, quite frankly, than a really deep purple. It's quite tried and tested. So what's your original spin going to be?
I'm upcycling some furniture and it's not purple.
Okay.
Also, I'm going to be making some 3D boxes that look like picture frames, and the TV's going to be framed so it's not the black monstrosity in the middle.
The problem is when you're doing luxury opulent is it can go rather tacky, and there's far too many shop bought items and, well, a few gimmicks, if I'm honest.
They may be concerned about the inventiveness of Tally's scheme, but the judges want to see originality from all three designers. So, to test just how creative they can be, Sophie and Daniel are surprising them with a raw material to upcycle. 5 red bricks.
We want to really challenge them this time round by giving them something that's not immediately beautiful or useful. It's up to them to make them that way. Hi, Craig.
Are you taking the mic?
You know how it works by now. We want you to be really creative and innovative.
You have 24 hours to turn 5 bricks into something appropriate for the room that we're all going to love and admire.
Help! This challenge is hard, but it's the second round and they better be up for it.
Did you realise my room's opulent?
Excellent, okay.
You feeling confident about that?
Yeah.
Good luck with it.
The judges will closely watch what the designers decide to do, and how creative they are will help them
lily that's under the garden seat. So I am literally bringing the garden inside the room. There we are, done.
But of course it's not done until Anne adds her trademark artistic details.
I'm painting this so that Lily can sit here and play with her little creatures in the garden.
I can tell you're in your element this time, aren't you? You're in your element.
What makes you say that?
I can see in your eyes, you seem very kind of excited by it.
I am excited.
So do you feel like you've learned?
Oh, massively. Vertical ascent. Learning curve. Straight up.
There's more to learn for all three designers, as the judges have given them 24 hours to transform 5 bricks into a stylish and functional product.
At the second round stage, they should be able to rise to the challenge and show us they can work with the raw material and make anything out of nothing, even a pile of old bricks.
Tally's planning to disguise her bricks as books.
This is either going to be one really heavy bookend or it's going to be a doorstop. I'm not liking it really. Why not? Because it just looks like a brick stuck in a piece of paper and that's not what I want.
I think this is a nice idea in principle. I mean, using a brick as a doorstop definitely works, and making it into a book cover is kind of playful.
I don't really think it's either glamorous or opulent.
I'm not over impressed with what I've done. I think it could be goodbye Tally.
Craig's also flummoxed.
There's not much you can do with 5 bricks, to be honest. So the idea is sort of somehow stick them together, painted them gold. Going to put a top on, so it's going to be like a little side table.
I'm just lost for words with Craig. This is really ugly.
And it's really useless. What can you put on that?
I think I've done pretty well to turn them into something useful. Done.
True to form, illustrator Anne starts with a doodle.
What is it? What can it be?
And inspiration strikes.
What I'm thinking of is making a little step so that you can put things onto the shelf easier.
Okay.
What I want to do is encase it with MDF all the way around.
Okay. Lovely.
Should put some real thought into that and come up with something that fits our scheme.
Yes, it's a unique idea, and I think there's been some design process.
So, a mixed review from the judges, but Sophie and Daniel will make their judgments when the items are in the finished schemes. Back in Craig's Parisian boho room, the traditional toile wallpaper is still being pasted.
Oh, it's got all right.
Yeah.
But until it's finished, he can't paint. So instead, he's getting creative.
These are going to be candlesticks, so I'm going to get 2 candlesticks out of 1 spindle. Then I'm going to be painting sort of like gold strips around them and green strips and all sorts. I'd say this is definitely more sort of bohemian look. So this is the base for the candlesticks. Just painting it gold. It's raining. It's raining and we just can't get anything done because it's making it very damp, so the paint's not drying, even it's leaking through this, so it's just dropping onto everything. Stop raining!
Further dampening Craig's spirit is his bright green paint, which needs, well, dampening down after the client's misgivings earlier on.
It will dry a lot lighter.
Yeah.
But it is quite neon.
I think I'm going to dull it down quite a bit.
It could either look dazzling or it could look like a disaster.
I was going to say, dazzling or bonkers, it's going to be one of those two.
Keeping tabs on the competition, Tally's also come to check out Craig's colour scheme.
Knock, knock. Hello.
All right, how are you doing?
All right, wow. Green. Mint green. That is
To
gorgeous.
be honest, I'm going to sort of dull it down a bit, but I'm just trying to cover this with wallpaper.
Yeah, that's a hard one, isn't it?
This paper's been pretty bad on it.
The colour scheme is not my personal taste. It's a brave colour to go with.
The visit may have upped Tally's confidence, but it's unsettled Craig's.
When Tally came to visit, I didn't sort of feel prepared for it. I felt like it comes across that I'm a bit behind and I'm scared that's going to sort of give her a boost. I'd like to see what she's doing, but I ain't got time for that.
Time is something in short supply for our designers, but not for the young builder of Bournville, who had time very much on his side. Estate architect William Alexander Harvey was appointed in 1895, aged just 20. Others followed, but his designs dominate the whole estate. While firmly anchored in the arts and crafts movement, Harvey drew on diverse influences, from Tudor timber framing, floral motifs of Art Nouveau, and eaves curving like eyebrows, bringing to mind thatched cottages. Sometimes, though, his designs verged on the eccentric. In this one building, for instance, he combines arts and crafts with Dutch-style stepped gables, 17th century dormer windows with a Chinese twist, and Venetian windows as well. He definitely had a taste for the unusual. He didn't want his individual buildings to be uniform, but he did want the whole estate to have harmony, and he pulled it off. Anne's hoping to pull off a harmonious arts and crafts scheme with traditional and up-to-date elements to fulfill her brief.
So what's the contemporary? Show me the contemporary.
The contemporary isn't in here yet. It's not really that contemporary, but it's rather nice G-plan.
Right, okay, so that contemporary.
To me, it's...
So you've actually reached your way all the way up to 1965. Good. Is it that still period piece?
Yes. Well, if contemporary's now, I'm contemporary. So I am making the cushions. They are contemporary.
She's gone entirely for the arts and crafts look. Problem is, though, the homeowner was looking for a twist of modernity, which is not there.
Craig's homeowners, however, wanted a paler shade of green. With a visit imminent, he'll find out if he's got it right.
We've just sort of tried to dull it down quite a bit because, you know, I want you to be happy with it. You're the ones who are going to be spending all your time in here, having your dinners and stuff. So.
Yeah, definitely prefer that lighter shade. Yeah.
Brilliant. I'm glad you like it.
The paint may be approved, but Craig's boho scheme is still under scrutiny.
It still looks quite traditional.
Yeah, that's why I need to get everything in. People are going to be surprised how sort of bohemian it's going to sort of turn into, really.
So this brief, you had a lot of competing things to pull together in one pretty small room.
There was a lot of different designs in the brief that the homeowner liked. Some of them did sort of clash. It was very hard picking out what sort of put together. But I feel like I've sort of rose to the challenge.
What did you learn from the first round?
Just to enjoy it. That's it, really, because I felt like I did a good job, so... a bit overconfident.
Well, you know, nothing wrong with a bit of confidence.
No, that's it.
Anne is also brimming with confidence as she puts the finishing touches to her shelves. Contemporary copper trim.
I've really pushed the design. I think I've been quite brave about that.
Hi, Anne.
Hello, Craig.
I love the copper.
Do you like the little bit of grass on the bottom for Lily? For the little girl? It's a little play area.
Oh, wow.
That's bringing the outside inside.
Yeah, definitely.
Bringing the garden inside.
No, it's very creative. I think I've been a bit more creative. I sort of didn't get the grass under the thing. Is that a kid's play area? How was a kid gonna fit in there?
It's a TV that Tally's having problems fitting into her opulent scheme.
Tally, this is ever so slightly too narrow.
I don't really want to start messing around with the frame.
I mean,
it's such a minute bit. It wouldn't bother me.
No.
And I'm a bit pedantic, so yeah, I think it's cool.
She won't need to second guess much longer, as her homeowner is due any minute. After loving the design on paper, Tally's hoping Dawn will be as dazzled with the real thing.
Wow. Love it, love it, love it.
I call it champagne.
I
yeah.
love the champagne.
Yeah. You have to look at it, you can't drink it though, love.
On the glamour level, I think Tally's working away definitely up to 10.
Oh, got 2 on that one.
Yeah, I'll just mark it.
When you see the homeowner's reaction like that, it's the best feeling. It really is. And then you realise why you put yourself through this and what's it for. And at the end of the day, it's to bring a bit of sunshine to someone. Exactly where you've got it now. Perfect. Yeah.
Bringing happiness to their 19th century residents was equally important to the architects of Bournville. And just as much attention was paid to the interior of the cottages as the exteriors. There's this beautiful fireplace in typical arts and craft glazed tiles. In the arts and crafts home, the hearth was a symbolic heart, so much detail was lavished on it. Over here we've got these beautiful bay windows, and this would have flooded light into the interior. All of this is a far, far cry from the dense, slum-ridden heart of the city. Downstairs, huge sculleries were placed next to the garden. Married women could no longer work in a factory. They were expected to look after the house. And men were encouraged to keep fit, to make food for the family, and also to stay away from the flesh pots of Birmingham by tending the garden. The estate provided orchards in every back garden. There's an original apple tree at the bottom of this one. It's near the end of day 2, and the designers are a long way from finishing their schemes.
How much are you over?
Well, I'm about 2 or 3 inches over, so...
Inches?
Yes.
These walls have been a nightmare today. I just want to get rid of this red, it's driving. Whoa.
I'm absolutely shattered.
All 3 designers have a battle on their hands to avoid elimination.
The list is pretty endless. Just got to get my butt into order. I don't want to go home. I've worked damn hard.
Yeah, that's it.
So,
Happy with that? What a team, Steve.
It's the final morning of the competition, and in a few hours, our 3 designers will become 2. So they don't have long to impress the judges, and stress levels are rising.
I would like to be slightly more ahead. Got to upholster a stall. I got to finish waxing all my furniture. It's just endless. I've got the carpets turning up. Yeah, it's full on.
It is going to be a rush. I really hope that this paint is only going to need 1 more coat. That's the only worry I've got.
At the end of today, Sophie and Daniel will decide which designer will leave the competition.
Quite a lot at stake if you want to progress.
At this second round stage, they're going to be even more critical than ever.
It's the final countdown.
It's Groundhog Day in Craig's Parisian boho room as his 3rd coat of green paint goes on the walls.
I've never spent so much time painting such a little area. Got the heaters on, try and get it dry as quick as we can, and then I'm going to run over it again.
Craig has also still got key pieces of furniture to finish.
Not happy. Not happy at all. Cut right through my music notes. I'm going to have to try and patch up slightly.
How's Craig getting along in his room?
We're seeing him being extremely industrious. There are lots of things that he's making which are not inside the room right now.
But the question is that furniture going to look right in this very chic boho room that he's designing?
Like it.
Anne's garden room is coming alive with all the structural and decorative work done, but nothing is escaping her attention.
Just this little funny thing that decorator missed out. It's getting on my nerves.
Now, Anne was all about the detail last time. How about this time round?
Yeah, still all about the detail. There's cushions and shelves and details and some quirky little funny bits happening under windowsills. So, yeah, it's still very much detail-based.
Oh, I'm struggling today.
In Tally's glamorous room, she's eking out the very last of her purple paint.
I'm really down to the last drops of this, and I've got to do some shells.
You wanted to see more creativity from Tally. Are we seeing it?
Not yet, if I'm honest. I mean, she's going for a very bold colour scheme. I mean, there's a gold frame around a TV. Now, that is the first time I've ever seen that. But she says she's painting furniture. That's being creative, but honestly, we see that a lot.
Our designers have had 3 days and £1,000 to transform a room each. They've been judged on their presentation skills and had to come up with an innovative way of making 5 bricks fit their scheme. Now they're approaching the end of their projects. For Tally, time is almost up.
I need to get these up in a minute.
Okay. But with the judges' concerns about her creativity,
Carpet's lovely, it's perfect, exactly what I wanted.
her finishing touches
I absolutely loathe sewing.
must have enough sparkle to win them over.
Finished. I'm out of here. Oh, I don't know what to say. I'm really, really, really shattered.
Tally's brief was to create a glamorous and decadent room. 3 days ago, it was 50 shades of beige with a lackluster layout. Now Tally's transformed it with a gold and purple colour scheme. and olive accents across the furniture. She's replaced the old carpet, added glitz with gilt frames, and a drop chandelier. Finally, she's attempted creativity with details like her unusual TV surround.
That room is a creative masterpiece. It really is. There's loads of little elements in there that have been creative.
I think the colour, this really rich, dark aubergine purple and the gold is a winning combination, and it does work. The biggest challenge that Tally had was creating luxury on a shoestring. This doesn't quite make the mark. It's a little empty.
I'm looking and thinking, where has she spent the money? Well, she's actually spent it on a beige carpet, and I can't work out why, because the other carpet was perfectly fine.
So maybe it would have been better to invest in one really gorgeous thing, a big chandelier, a really big gilt mirror. But we've got velvets, we've got silks, we've got a bit of faux fur, and layering up the texture that's kind of essential to this luxurious look. Now, layout I find really interesting, because if you remember, it was all a bit
Sofa here.
trying to get round the door and the sofa, and actually this room does flow a lot better.
And also it's rather sociable, because you can actually sit on opposite sides and have a nice chat.
As well as their overall schemes, Sophie and Daniel will judge how well their brick designs fit the room.
This has been designed as a doorstop. 3 bricks would stop any door, quite frankly, but yeah, I thought that would happen. They're glued together, so they're never gonna actually work as a complete set. So, you know, nice idea, but doesn't actually work.
What I do enjoy are the frame boxes. And actually, I sort of don't mind that TV.
I know, neither do I.
It's
I can't
funny.
believe it. Are we allowed to like it? I think in the context of the other frames, you know, if it was just on its own, it would look a bit naff, but because she's got the gold frames on either alcove as well, as a collection, they work. But I'm not wowed by it. I'm not seeing anything here that's wildly creative or new or exciting.
Judging is always an anxious time. Not as anxious as the homeowner seeing it, because at the end of the day, she's living in it.
How happy the homeowners are with the finished schemes will inform the judge's final decision.
Oh, it's amazing. I'm gonna cry. Oh, I love it. Oh, God, I absolutely love it. I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's your living room. You can't have a weep in your living room.
Oh, dear. Oh, thank you
So
much.
you like what she's done?
Oh, it's amazing. It's just what I wanted.
With his deadline fast approaching, Craig needs to bring together a huge amount of eclectic furniture.
Most awkward bloody lamp you've ever seen in your life.
He's relying on the fixtures and fittings to add the je ne sais quoi to his bold Parisian boho scheme.
Yeah, I think we're done. All done. All my little artistic little creations that I've done have come together pretty well. So yeah, really happy.
Craig's brief was to create a multifunctional reception room, combining chic Parisian boho with bold clashing colours. 3 days ago it was dark and lacking much va-va-voom. Now it's light and bright. In his bid for boho, Craig's gone eclectic. The green walls and toile acting as a backdrop for his mix of items. a dyed leather chair, a natural wood light installation, bespoke candlestick holders, and adapted storage units.
I think I have hit the brief on the head, really, but that's up to the judges.
I'm shocked.
Are you?
Yeah. What has happened? What has happened in here? I mean,
Do you not like the mirror?
It's just nothing's going. And, you know, what are these chairs doing next to this mirror? What is this colour doing next to that wallpaper? The curtains. What is that? What is that?
What?
What's happening? That lamp on that cabinet with that branch.
But it's meant to be an eclectic mix.
All right.
I think I'm getting it a little bit more than you are. The idea of the branch of the lights is the connection with the outside and in. I can get that. But it's gone for these stronger greens because it's to do with that Paris boho feel. He has been given a really tough brief because this is all about being eclectic. And that sounds simple, but it's not. To try and pull all those elements together can be a nightmare.
Well, the scheme as a whole isn't working for me. There are some really nice little pieces. I love what he's done with these candlesticks, his own design, that I like.
Can Craig further redeem himself with his upcycled bricks?
That is a crime against design.
Well, it has hints of desperation about it.
Why would you need that in your home? It's useless and it's not beautiful.
The room looks fantastic. I think the homeowner's going to love it.
Welcome.
Wow.
To our new room.
Oh my goodness. Gosh.
Different.
Hugely different. Oh, it's lovely. It is very lovely. Very lovely.
Okay, good. That's good. That's a good first impression. I'm getting a good first impression.
I thought it was going to look quite traditional. That was quite funky. I love that lamp.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Oh, look at the cupboard.
Oh.
This is our bookshelves. I just can't believe the amount of things he's packed in here.
I love it.
With her deadline looming, Anne gets busy dressing the room with her homeowner's art and all her creative details, including a whole heap of soft furnishings.
Anything little, anything little, anything little. Don't think there's anything else to twiddle on with, to be honest. I'm very proud of it. I think the thing I'm most proud about is how a scheme works together.
Anne's brief was for a grown-up reception room, mixing the contemporary and period. 3 days ago, it was bland and lacked character. Now it's a sophisticated, welcoming room with a period arts and crafts style fireplace. Anne's given the window a cushioned seat, curtains, and even a play area for daughter Lily. Her nod to modernity, copper-trimmed shelving, a 1960s coffee table, and a contemporary colour scheme.
If the judges turned around and said the room isn't good enough, I wouldn't think they'd been in that room. I think it is good enough.
That is a winning window treatment as far as I'm concerned. That makes me very happy.
Anne had this idea about creating this little cubby hole for their daughter to play in. I thought it all sounded just a little bit bonkers, but now I see it, it actually looks quite sweet, doesn't it?
I love it. I think it's really cute.
How do Anne's brick steps fit her scheme?
So the idea is, if you're a little bit short like me, you've got a little step.
Oh, look, you can read the books.
I've already got a problem though.
What's that?
If I want to reach the books over there, I actually can't pick up these library steps because they're full of bricks.
Oh, you want them to be really practical, don't you? Whereas I just think it's quite a clever little idea. Our criticism of Anne has always been that she's a little bit bitty. But here, I think she's beginning to succeed.
I think in terms of cohesion, it's a big success. My biggest concern about this scheme was it was going to be too traditional, using William Morris wallpapers, lots of applique and embroidery. That's not contemporary to me. But now I'm in the space, I think the fresh, pale blues on the walls, these really punchy purples and limes. I mean, I'm just loving the colours.
Well, of course you are. Look at that. That skirt you're wearing is very contemporary.
Yeah, exactly. And I think these are contemporary colours. And I think it's her colour scheme that's actually rescued her from not fulfilling the brief.
I think I met the brief. I more, exceeded expectations from the homeowner's perspective.
Right, come in. New front room.
Oh, wow.
What do you think?
Feels very arts and crafty, but yet it feels kind of contemporary and it's got a bit of colour and a bit of character.
I just think she's done a fantastic job with the window. And the design on the cushions with the shoes, it's really nice.
What about the fireplace? New centrepiece of the room.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
I can picture this at Christmas time, it'll look great.
It just feels really homey, doesn't it?
With all 3 rooms scrutinised, the amateur designers await their fate.
Yeah, very nervous. And I'm not ready for this journey to end.
I'm still feeling pretty confident, but I know how good the other 2 are. But I think I've done a good job and I think I've still got a good chance. Of course I want to get through to the next round.
If Craig and Tally went through and I didn't, that would be something that I would not expect.
It's second round and we're in such beautiful surroundings. You two must be expecting a lot from the designers. Tally was a bit of a box ticker last time you felt. This time you wanted to see her be a bit more creative, was she?
Can't really knock it. It was a very competent and comprehensive scheme.
But I wanted to see it being a little bit more voluptuous, a bit more generous, excessive, because that's what glamour is all about.
Well, judges, from the homeowner, we had tears of joy. She loved it.
Oh, well, that's brilliant, because there's no doubt that that room is going to make that homeowner feel like a complete superstar. Question for us is, have we got a superstar designer?
Did Craig bring boho Paris to Bournville?
The tough thing about creating bohemian style is it's usually something that grows slowly over time. You collect odd pieces. It's really creative, very artistic, but he's had to pull it together in a very short space of time. The result? Bit of a mishmash.
Oh, would you say that? I think he created a really uplifting space, which I'm sort of guessing that the homeowner absolutely loves.
The homeowners were kind of bamboozled by how much had been achieved in that one small room. And they loved it.
I told you they'd like it.
Anne was asked for a sophisticated reception room that mixed contemporary with period details. Did she deliver it?
Well, this is the problem that we've got with judging Anne's room, because it is lovely and it's very period, but they did ask for a contemporary scheme, and arguably it isn't that.
Well, the homeowner didn't seem to mind the lack of the contemporary edge. They loved the period detail. They absolutely adored what she'd done.
She put the soul back in that house. And actually, I also think that the design that she's created has a relevance to today.
The judges have come to a decision. Model suburbs like Bournville were all about transforming lives through design, a lesson I hope that's soaked into you three this time.
And what I love about this area is every house is completely different, and you guys have created 3 very individual interiors.
And I have to say, you all got very challenging briefs, but you all rose to those challenges and have achieved some really good interiors.
These two, though, have made their decision about the designer that will not be going through to the next round, and the designer not going through is Craig.
Brilliant.
Thank
you.
Oh, well done, though.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So, no, it's been great. I am. Of course I'm disappointed. I am disappointed. Met some fantastic people and I've learned a lot. I will still continue to do interior design, even if it's just on my own home. Hello.
We really hope that Craig could show us that he was versatile, that he'd break out of his comfort zone. However, his understanding of different looks and styles is yet to be fully developed. Therefore, he's not ready to go any further in this competition.
Thank you very much. I'm just happy to get through. I'll be throwing myself at the next one.
My concern with Anne is she does rely on historical references in her schemes. And look, if a homeowner asks for contemporary, I want to see that she can deliver that.
You've been a pleasure, an absolute pleasure. I'm so pleased.
I'm actually lost for words on how I feel at the moment, and I can't believe I'm still in the competition. So I'm really, really proud of myself, really proud.
We've got a bit of creativity, but if she's going to go much further in this competition, we want to see some originality and some innovation from her.
Next time in Yorkshire farmhouses, Tally and Anne
Bit of a leap of faith for you, I know.
transform a kitchen each to prove they've got what it takes to be a quarter-finalist. The designer going through is